What's up everyone? John from ARTV. It's time to talk about the latest offering from Nate Ruess. It's not a fun album, it's not a format album, it's a solo album titled Grand Romantic. First single we got off of this thing, Nothing Without Love. Didn't get me extremely excited, but I will say that it definitely grew on me with repeated listens. There's something about it, it just kind of has like a slow lit fuse that kind of builds up and grows on you, I guess, more and more with each listen, and each time I find myself coming back to it, I find that there is that emotion that he manages to pack into songs, something that he's known for. Now, you probably either know him for either fronting the highly successful band Fun that had hits like We Are Young, and of course, Some Nights, which has borrowed lyrics from that title track from that album on the track Aha, which I don't know, that kind of irked me in some ways because it felt a little bit lazy, but he's definitely known for either Fun or else the format, and he's now gone solo. But on this record, Grand Romantic, it's kind of hard to see this as anything more than just an extension of that Fun personality. I understand that there's a reason for that. It's the same guy writing and crafting these songs, making them from the ground up, and he has a certain emotional vulnerability to him that he just kind of pours into each of his projects. I was hoping to see more of Nate Ruess a la All the Pretty Girls or Walking the Dog like we got on Amen Ignite from Fun, probably my favorite of the two records they've put out, although I didn't think Some Nights was bad by any means. In fact, I still come back to it some to this day. Unfortunately, I just feel like some of these cuts are sad for the sake of being sad. There's no real pizzazz or charisma to them, if you will. I'm just not that invested in what he has to say, and that happens more often than not, unfortunately. We've all heard the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it, but I feel like that only goes so far. You should build off of the blocks that have already been laid instead of just kind of staying in stale water. Like I mentioned, I do somewhat enjoy the lead-off single, Nothing Without Love, which I find to be one of the more entertaining listens on Grand Romantic, an album title that pretty much suits the theatrical and almost over-the-top nature and stylings found all throughout. Those influences get overbearing at points, and some of the tracks just have me thinking, was that really necessary? A track that plays that card would have to be the intro, Grand Romantic intro, and of course followed later by the title track, which is one of the most genuinely uninteresting songs that I've heard so far this year. It's got this slow drum pound to it, and the rest of the instrumentation that just kind of surrounds it is just very slow burning. It's like they almost put the whole instrumental in slow-mo mode, and the lyrics just aren't really doing anything else to keep me from dozing off. Not lying here, Ruess spends over 20 seconds of this song saying the word bad, which to me just seems like a lethargic cop-out instead of coming up with something original to say how bad he wants this girl. There's a handful of other tracks that I feel like they're kind of clumsily put together, but let's navigate back towards the positive aspects of this album. I do have an appreciation for a fair amount of the tracks on this album, but apparently getting the gripes out of the way first is just the ARTV way to do things. Harsh Light was originally performed as a Fun song on late night television. I believe it was a little over a year ago, furthering my case that the majority of this record does feel like a continuation of Fun, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. In fact, it's quite enjoyable a lot of the time. This song is point and case, prime example, Nate Ruess doing what he does best. It reminds me slightly of the Fun track Why Am I the One, albeit with an even stronger vocal performance. The guitar slices its way in and makes itself much more prominent on this cut, something I would have liked to have seen a lot more of on the album, and I have to ask, was this Jack Antonoff of Fun playing the guitar on this track, since it was originally crafted as a Fun song? Combine that guitar with a chorus that just sticks like glue, and like I said, it's just Ruess at the top of his game. This is seen once again on the well-written and aptly titled What This World Is Coming To, featuring the Grammy Award-winning singer, the legend, Beck. I was extremely excited for this collaboration whenever I saw the track listing for Grand Romantic, and it did not disappoint. It's led by this acoustic guitar, has kind of a mellow vibe about it, and both singers sound absolutely wonderful here. Blending these two worlds could not have turned out better, as they pair together for a spectacular duet on the chorus, as both complement each other nicely as they shake off the troubles and sing, "So let's get high here in the moonlight, I think I'm gonna shine in the afterlife." The album really went on a strong run from the track World that I was just talking about all the way to the Wary It only gets much worse, which is maybe, just maybe, the antithesis to the fun track it gets better. Only kidding, because these tracks seem to be about totally different subjects, serving totally different purposes. This is when I really see the raw emotion from Ruess pouring in, and I see it as something 100% genuine, something that I have a problem with on some of the other tracks on the album. Like I said, sad for the sake of being sad, or just kind of out there and not really pushing any kind of buttons. This is one that seems like it was written about a legitimate circumstance that really brings a sense of urgency to the track. I didn't mean to let you go, he wails on this one as the strings and the piano keys really start to tug at the heart in this stirring performance that I see as being one of the greatest things about Grand Romantic. The lively Great Big Storm holds its own as well, delivering a lively song before transitioning into the more somber and intimate track Moment, which I see as another bright spot on the record. There's definitely some sort of weird chaos about Grand Romantic that doesn't always deliver, but at the same time does offer up some good pop tunes. From the zany aha to the off-putting and poorly calculated closer Brightside, I feel like fans are going to be somewhat divided on this one. I did struggle with a rating for this album. I kind of went back and forth between 3.5, but honestly I've settled on a 3 for the debut album Grand Romantic by Nate Ruess. So if you've heard this one, let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Maybe hit the like button while you're at it and subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed, obviously. So let me know if there's any other albums you'd like to see me tackle and review in the comment section down below. Maybe I'll get to them. I'm planning on doing one more review before I go out of town for a week, but I've got some content up my sleeve that I'll be slowly trickling out throughout the week that I am gone. It's kind of like a work-related thing. So yeah, hopefully you'll be getting some throwback reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.